Cammy asked me what I thought of her having a baby since she was lonely at home.
Oh yes, the perfect reason to have a baby.
Oh God.
I'm so lonely. I need a hobby. Let me give birth.
No.
I didn't want to say big prostate mouth, did I? And she's gonna notice.
Stop talking before you pop by going too high-pitched. Spay my dog.
You're through to 1-800-DRAMA,
The show where you share your biggest dilemmas.
and we help you navigate them.
I'm Shaaba.
And I'm Jamie,
Come join us as we help people figure out if they are the drama.
because sometimes you just need an outside perspective.
And we can all expand our own mindsets along the way.
Wait, am I the drama?
Red flag, green flag, Shaaba.
Hit me.
People who don't like cats.
Big red flag. Big red flag. Okay, here's my
Really?
reasoning. Number
Okay.
one, I used to be one of them. Well, hang on, no. It's fine to have like a past experience where cats make you feel scared or nervous. You may have just heard our cat in the background. That was ironic timing.
He's like, red flag.
And I think if you have a negative experience, it's okay to be afraid based on that experience. However, to just blanket be like, oh no, cats freak me out. Oh no, I don't think I like cats. Oh no, they give me bad vibes. That is big red flag for me. Do you know why? Because our cats are an amazing judge of character. So if you don't like them, that means they're not going to like
To
you, I
be
assume.
fair.
And if my cats don't trust someone, I don't trust someone.
To be fair.
Thank you for
yeah.
coming to my TED Talk. Do you get what I
Yeah,
mean?
I do get what you mean. Okay, here's where I'm coming from. Before we got cats, I was very much like, no, not cat, always a dog.
I mean, me too, to be
Always
fair.
a dog.
I wasn't a dog person either. I was just like, no. But I didn't mind dogs, but cats did scare me.
Yeah, it's because I got scratched by a family friend's cat when I was a kid.
Mine was
But-
an incident where I was up like all night because I was really scared of this wild cat that someone had rescued.
Lovely. That feels very sad for you.
It like knocked down the Christmas tree. Do you remember I told you?
Oh, yes, lovely. How fun. What I learned is that cats are just often a little more highly strung and a lot more loyal to their owners. So if you're coming in not as the cat's parent or family member, then often they can be a little more guarded. And that can give the impression to people who've never owned a cat that cats are just not very friendly, but they are.
There's a difference though, right? Between people being like, cats are okay, but I prefer dogs, which is totally fine, and being like, no, I don't like cats. If you're telling me you don't like cats, that's a red flag.
Only if you've had no experience of cats other than just being like, ugh, they're always like the evil person's companion. If that's your reasoning for not liking cats, yeah, sure, red flag. If a cat attacked you,
Yes.
fair.
Okay, fair. Yes, of course.
Then you have a
I
reason,
understand that,
and
yeah.
it's separate from just being like, ew, cats. It's more like a no. I'd rather not, because some people are afraid of dogs because they have a bad experience.
Also
so it's
fine. Hey, I said
yeah.
that, right? I
My
introduced that.
mum is terrified of tiny rodents because I don't know why, but
Did she have a bad experience with the tiny rodent?
I don't know, but we used to have hamsters growing up, like classic kid pets. I loved them. And I'd go, Mum, look at my hamster. She'd literally scream and run away. She would not go anywhere near the hamsters.
We should probably unpack that sometime.
Yeah.
All right.
Or just put a hamster on her. No, that's mean.
That would be
That
very
would be so
mean.
mean.
For those of you listening to this podcast right now, it's just gone live. Just to let you know, we, if all is going to plan, should be in the States touring for the Spill and the Tea book tour. I'm very excited.
Did you see my eye twitch?
Yes.
I'm excited too.
Just also anxious.
Yeah,
An
I hope
anxious
people have
traveller.
shown up. We'll be about halfway through. I hope it's going well.
But
I'm
hey.
manifesting fun times, burgers, lobster rolls, car music, cute times.
Good American road trips,
Yeah.
seeing lots of lovely people, having wholesome, wonderful conversations
Yeah.
in LGBT plus, celebrating safe spaces.
Yeah,
That is the manifesting.
Books.
And books.
Woo.
But if you would like to come see us and we're in a state near you, go take a look at Jamie's bio. There may be some tickets left. Let's hang.
But yeah,
For now,
lovely.
shall we go fishing
For drama.
Let's go. Oh, drama.
So, Shaaba, am I the drama? Oh, my voice broke. Maybe I am the drama
You may
today.
be.
I am. For telling my wife she needs to visit the dentist. Go to the dentist, Shaaba.
I don't know. This could go two ways.
It depends, because I have done this exact thing. I have told my wife she needs to visit the dentist, but that's because you didn't for ages, and I thought it was worth you getting a checkup just to make sure everything was okay.
How long was it?
Years.
I think it was like 8 years.
Years.
Yeah, I hadn't gone to the dentist in 8 years.
And I was like, babe, look, if there's any problems, you want to get them found out now, because it'll be much easier to fix.
I did have to have my first filling
You
not
did.
too long ago, and I was absolutely terrified. I've definitely definitely inherited a fear. I know it's not like genetic, but I learned a fear growing up from my family for the dentist.
Yes, I know what you're referring to. I can see why.
That's where it came from, but I'm a big girl now. So...
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You did well.
I still don't like it, but let's see
I'm
what's happening
reserving-
with OP's
yeah.
situation.
Okay.
Ready?
Go for it.
It started about a year ago, says OP. My wife developed horrible breath.
Oh.
Breath that makes you want to puke.
Oh.
No, this is so sad. She brushes her teeth every morning and night, but she also has cavities.
Oh, that will make your breath smell.
Cavities.
Rot.
Sometimes, says OP, I get woken up by nothing more than her breathing in my face. No.
Oh.
It smells like her tongue has been shaking hands with Bigfoot's prostate all day, every day. Okay.
Sorry, is this a legit post?
Already, I think OP is the drama. Because there is a way to say things, and this is
Yes.
not how you speak about somebody that you love.
Although, maybe OP is just getting out some frustration over wife's potential lack of wanting to sort things out and
Imagine if
did
this was
not
me.
use this tact.
Right?
Okay, I would not be that mean about you.
And you went online to vent your frustration on a public forum that your wife could easily see.
Okay, fair. I would probably, the most I'd go is, it's a little like doo-doo, and I would like something to be done, thank you.
You know, if someone said, hey, friends, this is really bad. Hey, internet, I cannot explain to you quite how bad this breath is.
Yeah.
I would understand. But saying, hey, Jamie, your breath smells like Bigfoot's prostate,
Yeah.
that's kind of mean.
Okay, I
There's
see.
no need. That's kind
I
of
see what
blatant.
you're saying.
That's not nice. OP, tut to you. Okay. Her parents never took her to the dentist as a child, so I believe she's scared.
Oh.
Every time I bring it up, she gets defensive and says we don't have the money or we don't have insurance. I have at least $2,000 available at all times, so it's just an excuse. What do we think about that? The dentist is expensive.
It is expensive. I do feel like if she's like never been, if her parents didn't take her when she was a child and there seems to be a fear there, then potentially finances are an excuse, but it's difficult to say because like dental stuff is hard, it is expensive, and
It's really
$2,000
bloody expensive.
if there's a lot that needs fixing, that's not going to
Actually,
cover it.
no.
That isn't going to do it.
At least
So-
not by the standards that we have in the UK, which I feel like we can compare to because we have privatised dental care here. Right?
Yeah.
So it must be quite similar.
I'd imagine so. I don't know what the exact cost breakdown would be. But the other thing I would say is that if you do have enough money to sort some things out, you should get problems sorted sooner rather than later because they just get
They
worse
do
and
get
more
significantly
expensive.
worse and very pricey,
Yeah.
yes. Well, I was reading actually, it wasn't recently, it was mid last year, I
Mm.
think. The UK reports came out saying that dental hygiene was one of the biggest NHS costs, and it's because there's been such a recession, low-income families in particular are not even able to buy things like toothpaste and toothbrushes for their kids.
Yeah.
There's not enough education on how to maintain dental hygiene, and there's just not enough means to be able to do it properly, which is really sad.
No, I did hear this.
God, it sucks. Anyway.
So, yeah, but if one person in the relationship feels like as a couple they have enough money to cover some dental care, then perhaps money is not the biggest issue in this situation.
I'm thinking multiple things. OP is saying that he has at least 2,000 available at all times. I've just gendered OP, by the way. I'm assuming that OP is a man.
How
This is
cis
out of
of
me.
you?
But partner here of Smelly Breath Lady has sorry.
Shaaba.
No, partner of wife. Partner of wife. That wasn't me trying to be mean. I'm just
That's
trying to
her
be...
identifier, smelly breath lady.
I didn't want to say big prostate mouth, did I? Is saying that they have $2,000. That doesn't
Right.
mean that. What is the name that we're going to use? That in need of dental care wife is
You could just say breath lady.
breath lady. Yes, that doesn't mean that breath lady is feeling comfortable with taking that money.
Or
number one.
their wife.
Number two, but then OP could be the wife too.
But we're only knowing, yes, but we don't
Okay,
know.
OP and the wife. I get it, Jamie. Stop making this messy. Number two, I kind of feel right, like from what I've heard, and yes, I have to disclaim, a lot of this knowledge is coming from Bob's Burgers, which may be my favourite show of all time, when Louise needs to go to the dentist. She needs a cavity filled and it's really painful, right? So surely if you have outstanding cavities for this length of time, you will be feeling a lot of pain.
Yes.
So surely she will know just how much work needs to be done based on how long this has been going on for and how much pain she's in.
No, if she's never been to the dentist, she might have no idea what has to happen.
Maybe. But if she's in a lot of pain, she might be like, holy wow, this is going to be really expensive, which it genuinely very much could be.
I see what you're saying.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have a very dear loved one who just spent a lot of money on not a huge amount of work, and I was like, wow.
No, it was a relative amount of work.
But my point is, like, I just don't think that any kind of healthcare for looking after your body should cost that much. And this is obviously coming from someone who's very privileged from being able to use an NHS system, like a public healthcare system.
Damn.
OP says, we were at a school function for my daughter earlier today, and as we were waiting in line, she was talking into my face, and I got a whiff of her sulfuric ass breath. See? This is just mean.
Yeah, because all that needed to be said was her bad breath.
I made a face and backed away from her. Oh no. Oh no. She got mad and wouldn't talk to me until we sat down to eat. If I did that to you at a public event, not just that, but a public event where there are parents at a school function where you know those parents are hella judgy.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we have a secret message, but we don't show like public. We'll tell each other if we're going to need to speak to other people who may also get a whiff, so maybe we should have a mint. But I wouldn't pull a face or back away from you or like cover my mouth.
That in quite a weird way.
There's a way to like quietly let somebody know, and then you can like adjust slightly so nobody else notices, but you are still comfortable.
Absolutely. Whilst we were eating, she said I was being a jerk for making that face, to which I replied in a whisper that no one else could hear. Oh, now you're being private. I wasn't being a jerk, says OP. It was just my reaction. You have cavities that need to be filled before they rot your teeth out. She wouldn't talk to me until we left. I said I was sorry, but that didn't change the fact that she needed to see a dentist. She replied, you embarrassed me in front of everyone. We don't have the money or insurance, and I don't care about a cavity.
Ooh.
You're just over-exaggerating to make me feel bad in front of everyone. And that was the last thing that she said to me. So am I the drama?
I have a...
Do we have different badges? I feel like we might.
I don't know. The one thing that is stopping me from being confident in my gut reaction badge judgment is money. Okay, can I give a badge judgment, but two different ones based on different scenarios?
What's your overriding badge judgment? Should we do it in a 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Everyone sucks.
Oh.
But if like as a unit there's genuinely not enough money, then you're the drama, because there's a nice way to go about things. It's not dramatic, it's not buttholey to share with your partner that there could be an issue that maybe needs addressing as much as they can do that. But to visibly show it,
I'm in so two minds, because part of me is just like, do you know what's coming into my mind? You know when, I can't think of an exact example, but when you accidentally hurt your loved one. There have been times, right, where you've accidentally hurt me, I've accidentally hurt you, and we've been like, ow! And then the other person's gotten really annoyed to be like, but I didn't mean to, and you're like, calm it, for God's
like
sakes.
if I lean on your hair or something.
It was an automatic reaction.
Yeah.
And like, nobody's really wrong in that situation, because obviously if you're feeling some kind of hurt, it's not your fault that you're expressing pain.
Yes, if the cat does a fresh poop and then runs right round us and he stinks, I will go, ugh. And it's kind of like there's a automatic disgust reaction. If somebody farts and you smell it, you'll make a little crumpled face.
Yeah, my point being, if it was a genuine instinctual reaction, I can't be mad at you for that. I just kind of feel like maybe it wasn't. I don't know, I'm getting the vibe that it wasn't. That is an assumption on my part.
It's the backing away for me.
It wasn't just a...
Yeah.
It was like a physical moving.
I've been in public and not your breath, but like just smells in public, and I've been a bit like...
There have been times where my breath's been funky.
No, yes, but what I'm saying is this reaction I'm about to explain that I've had hasn't been over your breath, but like little faces. Like if you're out in public or you're driving in the car and there's like manure, it's like, ooh. But it's such a small expression to make that's uncontrollable. The rest of it is then, I'm not going to exclaim. If I think maybe someone else in public is smelly, I'm not going to say something loudly.
Think of times, because everyone's been in a situation, right, where you've been in front of someone or around someone that has like super bad BO. For me, whenever I'm on the tube, like sometimes you're super squished together. There can be someone who really doesn't smell great.
And I've made like an automatic like nose crunkle, like kind of like this. kiss.
Or like an eye squint.
Yeah, but never like a full-on disgusted face and then stepping away from the situation.
Also, this has been going on for a year. So OP, you know what your wife's breath smells like.
Yes.
It can't have been that much of a shock to you.
Yeah.
For something that you're probably aware of, that would be very annoying to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I do think that you are the drama. I don't think that your wife is right for not going to the dentist, but I just don't think it's right to say that she's the equivalent of an asshole for not doing it. Whether it's to do with money, whether it's to do with trauma, whether it's to do with a bad experience, your job is to support, and you are being so unsupportive right now.
I feel like the way OP's speaking about it in this post, the reactions that they had in front of their wife, it's an embarrassing thing. Like, the people are going to feel a level of embarrassment when you say, you know, baby breath is like chronically bad. Maybe you need to go to the dentist. There may be some defensiveness over that. There may be some fear. There may be some avoidance. And there is a nice way to go about it to gently encourage it. I think we went at the same time. We like booked a double checkup, like one after the other, because you were scared. So I went first. And so there's a way to be like, hey, why don't we go to the dentist together? I'll get an appointment. You can sit on it and see what it's like. And then you can get an appointment and I'll stay with you.
You know what? Maybe she needs therapy. There are ways that it can be like worked out. And I get it. All of this stuff requires financial accessibility.
Yeah.
But my issue is you were still a total jerk. And not only that, you said, and even if you're saying it's a whisper that no one else could hear, your wife is already on guard because you physically stepped away and pulled a disgusted face. She probably noticed other people's reactions whilst you were worrying about her breath. That's going to make you feel some kind of way, right?
Yeah.
Then you're clearly not sitting together. You're clearly not speaking. There's clearly tension between you as you go and eat, right? You're eating?
Yeah.
Whilst we were eating.
That's when they spoke again.
And then again, at the public event, even if you're saying no one else could hear, you specifically said you need cavities that have to be filled before they rot your teeth out. It's just rude. You do say, we need to talk about this at home. You do say, I'm not happy. There are things that we need to process, but not here.
Yeah.
There is a right time and a right place. This was not the right time or the right place.
Yeah.
You are the drama.
The reason why my initial badge was everyone sucks, that's under the scenario that she could afford to go to the dentist. So under that scenario, I'm like, really, you should be, or you should be doing something as much as you are able to tackle why you feel like you can't do that. Because even if you didn't feel like there were any issues, things like dental checkups, if you can afford that, are quite important to go to. If she cannot afford it, if they cannot afford to go to the dentist, there is no judgment on her, and this is entirely on the partner.
I have what is probably going to be deemed a really stupid question now, and I just want to ask, like, in all seriousness, and I realise I just want to like preface this, it's coming from a huge sense of privilege, right? And the reason I want to ask it is because I feel like I can't be the only person who doesn't know this, therefore I feel like the answer will be useful for more people. In US systems, which is entirely private healthcare, I'm sure the US is not the only place in the whole world that has private healthcare, and in the UK for dentistry, if you really can't afford it, what do you do? Like dental or any kind of medical treatment?
I don't know. I don't know if there's some kind of like...
Is there like an emergency public healthcare system?
Honestly, I have no idea. I know sometimes people's jobs can include dental and medical insurance.
I want to Google this. Like, I really feel like it's I can't believe I've not thought about it.
I feel like there would be some kind of dental insurance as well separately that people can take out privately, but seeing as OP didn't mention any kind of work or private insurance, I assume they don't have any, so any dental care would be paid out of pocket. But I don't know what people do if it's an emergency and they don't have the finances for it.
Okay, from a really quick Google search, I think the idea is they'll help you, but you are landed with a big bill that then means that you could be in a huge amount of debt or could like have big tax implications.
Right.
That may not be right. I've literally just done some very quick Google search.
That would make sense based on like emergency care, like if you needed to be taken by ambulance somewhere and you had like no control over it because you were unconscious.
I'm very much hoping that they don't just turn people away.
Anyway, I definitely think if your partner is expressing to you your breath is causing a bit of an issue, it's really bad, it's uncomfortable, and then just for your health as well, I think you should check it out, and they do have the money for it, then that's why I gave that everybody sucks. It's not
I respect your badge.
Drama to say to your wife, I think you should maybe visit the dentist.
I'm saying this from a place of love. You need to sort your breath out because other people are going to be judging
It's
you.
the way you do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not what we said.
It's how you say it. Comments. Not the drama.
Oh, I disagree.
Yeah, interesting. Her fears and embarrassment are understandable, but not an excuse. Is she this way with other doctors and appointments? If not, stress to her that going to the dentist is not a matter of aesthetics or nice smelling breath. It is a matter of health, and the longer she puts it off, the more expensive and irreversible the damage will be. I agree with all of that. It's just, I think OP went about it in a really harsh way.
I agree. I agree with you.
You agree with your husband. You can die from tooth decay infections, not to the drama, and she needs to get her ass in gear.
Can you actually die from tooth decay? Well, yeah, I guess it's like an infection can lead to
worse.
sepsis?
I think so. But yes, if it gets really, really bad, then yes, you can. Didn't
She
you
absolutely needs help.
I swear there was a time when tooth infections used to be like one of the number one killers.
Like back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Victorian times sort of thing.
Yeah, that kind of vibe.
I am so surprised if somebody has a cavity that you could deal with that for a year. Because surely you would be in such excruciating pain.
So when I was younger, I have a crown because when I was
King.
when I was a teenager, I got it filled, but it turned out the dentist was dodge and he put a temporary filling in it when it was supposed to be a permanent filling, and he didn't dig out all the decay. So under the filling, my tooth was like decaying, but I didn't notice. But I would get twinges, but it wasn't like bad. And then just one day, a quarter of my tooth chipped off. But then the other bit went before I could get an appointment with a dentist, and then I had to get it crowned.
Whoa.
So
totally different story. Somewhat relatable. When I was really young, my cousin was eating an apple and she bit into it, and when she took it away, her tooth was in it.
Wait, was this like a kid's tooth falling out? Okay, fine.
I was like, wow.
Oh my god. Something out of a horror movie. Lovely. Again, I agree with this comment though. Yeah.
But not the bad.
Yeah, it all just comes down. That's why I said everybody sucks, because you should sort your shit out, but at the same time, you should be nice to the people you love with your messages.
Yeah, I don't know why. Normally it's the other way around, where I'm being like the moral hard hat that's like, yes, but technically wife is also the problem here, and therefore everybody sucks here. Whereas this time I'm like, you know what? I can see she's objectively doing something wrong, but I don't think she's a drama here. And you're the one going, actually, I'm going to follow the rules to a T. What happened?
I don't know. I think we swapped. Not the drama. She is in denial. You accepting blame or feeling guilty for a genuine spontaneous reaction won't fix her teeth or make her breath smell any less horrific. She needs to bite the bullet and go to the dentist.
I am shooketh that we've had different badges to each other, but both of them are not at all in line with the forum.
It might all be what lens you're coming at it with.
Yeah, maybe. But honestly, like, I just feel like people are being totally in denial of what OP's reaction has been, which has not been kind. Another very Shaaba thing to do. Take this principle and apply it to something entirely different. If someone was super depressed...
Oh. Sorry, I was laughing and I didn't think it was going there.
I hear you. If someone's super depressed, they haven't washed. They haven't changed their clothes in a really long time. What are you going to do? Are you going to be mean to them? Are you going to call them the asshole?
And like recoil at them and say, you absolutely reek, like what are you doing?
You smell like Bigfoot's prostate.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that. You say, I love you, you need help. And these people do not call that person the asshole. So why should this be any different? Personally...
They're not necessarily calling wife an asshole,
Oh,
though.
they're just saying you're not
They're
the
saying
drama.
that the OP is not.
Yeah, I still disagree, because I do think OP's actions were quite drama-y.
Yeah.
Just my personal take, though. It'd be really interesting hearing what you think, though. Peaches, let me know. Oh, drama! Am I the drama for telling my sister-in-law that her pregnancy announcement was jarring?
Oh, what's a good word?
What
jarring.
did she do?
That's not... The announcement was jarring.
I'm imagining, like, the alien out the chest. Like a really distasteful announcement.
With a little sign saying, I'm pregnant. Right, so OP, 28-year-old woman, has been with her husband, 32-year-old man, for 9 years. We have just welcomed our baby girl last July. Congratulations. The first grandbaby of both families. Ooh. Everyone was thrilled. The first is...
That is a coveted position.
Yes, the most excited for. Our baby receives a lot of attention from my husband's parents since we live around the corner from them.
Okay.
Natural.
Kind of insufferable, but okay.
I have a 26-year-old sister-in-law, Cami. She loves kids and has voiced how much she would love a baby. Cami and her boyfriend have some issues. They always complain to her parents about how they can never afford things, leaving my in-laws to foot the bill, such as a lawnmower, getting their dog spayed, patio furniture, and a vacation to Mexico. Okay, that makes me annoyed.
That is very infuriating. It's also such a wide spectrum. They're like, a lawnmower. I was like, right. A vacation to Mexico, very different. And then something as genuinely important as getting your dog spayed.
Yeah, but why have a dog? Because like, if you can't afford to get your dog spayed, how will you then afford your dog's medical bills?
But then also croquet set for the lawn. Like, make it make sense.
Bizarre. Lawnmower and patio furniture I can see as being a gift. Vacation feels very excessive.
That is
but
excessive.
dog spade? That just makes me feel like they're really irresponsible. Anyway, OP continues. There are a couple people that voiced concern about them starting a family. Her dad, my father-in-law, has been adamant about her boyfriend getting serious about their relationship first, putting a ring on it.
If you like it, then you should have put it. Okay, I don't think that a wedding is like a requirement.
No, I also think that's expensive.
A wedding.
Yes.
I mean, a big wedding.
Even
A pop
just...
to the registry office doesn't have to be that pricey.
It does cost a bit of money though. It's
Yeah.
not free.
If you're talking about starting a family, the cost of that is nothing in comparison to the cost of having a baby.
I see what you're saying.
I hear what you're saying as well, though.
Yeah,
and
but
I
I
don't
just
think
think-
that we should be caveating to be like, oh, you must be married before you have a child.
Yes.
But I think that just sounds like a bit of a loaded thing that's happening alongside all the other things.
Yeah, I feel I would like society to move beyond the point of being like, oh, you have to get married when you fall in love. No, it is a choice. Cammy agreed, but stated that it would be a while before they got married as it would be expensive.
Oh, there you go.
Her sister, my other sister-in-law, has been hearing up and down about their issues/fights. It seems that every other week they are split up for a day or two before reconnecting.
Oh no,
that
that
just
is dodge.
sounds
That's not like we're in a relationship, we're just not getting married for the money. That is, we're in a
We're
turbulent
not in a
relationship.
stable relationship.
Yeah, I did just want to say something though. I actually find it really freaking cute when little kids can be bridesmaids or little groomsmen, little page boys,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. Tiny little squishes in adorable suits
Can
and
just
dresses
be involved in the wedding in
in the
some
wedding.
way.
It's so cute.
OP continued, we hardly see Cammy's boyfriend as they usually get into a fight before she makes the trip over where we live, so he doesn't come with her. Okay, they just sound like a hot mess of a couple.
Yeah,
A
definitely
couple-
not the right environment to bring a kid into, right?
No, for sure. A couple of months ago, Cammy asked me what I thought of her having a baby since she was lonely at home.
Oh yes, the perfect reason to have a baby.
Oh God.
I'm so lonely. I need
That
a hobby.
is-
Let me give birth.
No. I did not lie. I said I didn't think it was the best idea since her boyfriend is hardly around, both work-wise and emotionally. Plus, they've only been together for a little over a year, and that...
Oh, that's a short relationship. Well, you know, like to be considering this.
No, and to also be that turbulent and
Yeah.
that up and down, and the
Yeah.
family to know about it. Skip to last week, Cammy comes to visit us with her boyfriend. She gathers us all at the table for a family photo, in quotes, before her boyfriend says, say, Cammy's pregnant.
Oh wow,
So-
that's actually kind of like a really cute idea, though,
As
for
he
an
takes a
announcement.
video. Okay.
But wow, considering the circumstances, I'm
Little
curious.
awkward. Her sister, with a straight face, says, quote, is this a joke? Her father frowns through his smile and looks down at the ground. My husband shakes his head and walks away. I put on a huge smile and say, oh my gosh, congratulations. We all gather ourselves up to wish her congratulations, but there are clear bad vibes going on. She doesn't notice. I can feel the room.
She's gonna notice. She's
Oh.
gonna look back at that video because she's gonna want to get an Instagram like, and she's gonna notice.
Stop talking before you pop by going too high pitched. Cammy, upon reviewing the video, texted me very upset that her announcement video was a dud and that her family was not supportive.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up that second point, and it wasn't just like, ugh, my announcement video isn't
Not-
TikTok perfect.
It's not postable. She was upset, stating how could everyone be excited for me and not for her. I told her that everyone might not be super excited at first and that's okay. It's just a bit jarring to hear this news. Cammy name calls me and her family a bunch of a-holes who don't respect her decision as a grown woman. Am I the drama for telling her the pregnancy wasn't exactly wanted by everyone, or does she deserve the flack?
Okay, real talk. I so appreciate somebody saying, look, I'm a grown woman. I get to make choices for myself.
Yeah.
But you cannot, in the same breath, then be like, also, mummy and daddy, buy my watering cans.
Spay my dog.
Also, mummy and daddy, pay for my vacation to Mexico. That's not how it works, babe. That's what you call having your cake and eating it. You have to just accept that if you're going to act childish in that way, your parents are not going to think that you're capable of bringing a child into the world.
Yeah, and also because some of the reasonings that she's expressed have been questionable.
Lonely. 1 year relationship that's incredibly turbulent
Turbulent.
with so many breakups.
Poor financial either decisions or
Current standing.
current position.
Which also coupled with the fact that your husband is clearly not there for you.
Boyfriend.
Oh, sorry, boyfriend, wannabe husband, where OP says it's not even just financially not there for you, as well as emotionally not there for you.
Yeah. And it's already been a conversation in the family about her starting a family with this boyfriend. And there's been expressions of maybe now is not the right time. maybe you guys should wait a bit longer. I'm confused as to why she's surprised that the family didn't have this over-the-top joyful reaction, because they've literally talked about it already.
Do you think that when OP says that a couple of months ago, when she asked, she was already pregnant?
Yes.
And she was waiting for like the first trimester to be over to announce it?
Yeah, if they did wait the length of time that you're supposed to or advised to wait, then yes, I think she probably was already pregnant at that point.
That's tricky. I hate using the phrase devil's advocate, but here is the other point of that, right? She's already pregnant. It's happening. So, as a family, is it maybe a bit not very nice to... But having said that, you're just being honest with your feelings, family.
Yeah.
No one has said, you should be having a baby. You've just reacted naturally. And the question is not, were we wrong for disapproving of the pregnancy? It's, was I wrong for being honest and saying, but your announcement was jarring. And it was jarring, and people were jarred. What can I tell you?
Also, what you've done is set people up to be filmed in a situation where you know, or you should be aware because of previous conversations, that it's maybe not going to be the most like smooth news to give.
I'm with you.
And then you film them, and she only notices when she watches back on the video. So
Well, probably because in the moment she's probably
no,
like...
but that's what I'm saying. Had she announced it, everybody would have had their chance to have that gut reaction, take a breather, because nobody's had an opportunity to take in this big news that they all
like,
think is not the best thing to do right now. Because I bet you, as her parents, they're thinking, great, another financial burden for us. I know that sounds really harsh, but look,
it really does.
Lawnmower, dog spade, patio furniture, vacation to Mexico, baby stuff. Seriously.
But I'm sure they're not thinking it that way. I think they're like, oh my goodness, I hope she's okay. How can we support her? Is she getting enough support? I'm concerned about my child and also about my future grandchild.
Okay, I'm just feeling spicy for
financial burden.
But maybe that might be part of it.
Absolutely.
Not in so harsh a way, but just like we know she's not financially
You are a bit spicy
stable.
today.
Yeah, she didn't give them the opportunity to have that initial reaction.
You're so right.
I think OP was literally just telling her that. Like, people just had this gut reaction because of your personal situation. Let them all take a minute and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yes, your announcement was a bit jarring because of what's been going on with your relationship.
Call a spade, and then she's gone to OP, well, you're an asshole, and I think that's not very fair.
No. OP was actually being honest with her. Like,
yeah, and I think the reason that Cammie's probably come to OP is because upon the video, right, OP was the one that said, congratulations. To be fair, I think it's easier for OP, and in terms of like social norms and conventions, she is the in-law. She is the one that's like not supposed to be as judgy. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's less close. She probably feels like she's less able to be honest.
right.
So I feel like OP in this scenario is more used to probably biting her tongue when she sees things going wrong and just being like, well, this is your family. I know I'm like, but I'm new to the family. As the new kid, you typically don't say as much, right?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like in your family, if someone was doing something not fantastic, I can have my thoughts, but you would be the one to voice them. And similarly in my family.
Oh, yeah. You can lead that one, though.
So, I don't think that OP was at all. I'm going to say not the drama here.
Yeah, not the drama. That's
You
my
too?
badge as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear what other people have to say about this one, though.
Go for it.
Ready?
Not the drama. She got pregnant to fix her problems. Ooh. Which, of course, will only add to them. You see it, her father sees it, everyone sees it, except her. She'll never see it. I think this is quite a big assumption.
I can see how you could come to that assumption, though, from what OP said.
It may have been a mistake.
No, because she literally said, I'm lonely, I want a baby, 2 months before the announcement.
Sure, but what if she was already pregnant at that point?
Because she was lonely.
No.
It could be either. You're making an assumption that it's not, madam.
I'm making an assumption that it could be either, meaning I'm not making an assumption. You're saying it's definitely that.
No, I'm not saying it's definitely that. I say I could very easily see it being that, and I don't think it's a jump.
Yeah, but think about if someone was like, oh crap, I'm pregnant. Wow. Hey family, what would you think if I maybe got pregnant? You know, I do get lonely sometimes, you know, like trying to find a way to justify it. That very easily could have been the case.
That is still a weird thing to say.
Commenter continues, you didn't tell her the pregnancy wasn't wanted by everyone. You told her that everyone might not be as excited at first. That is all. Not your problem. Steer clear. I do agree with that second sentence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with the verdict.
Yes, me too. Not the drama. She's in for a rude awakening when her child comes. It'll be so expensive and her boyfriend won't help. Tell her up front you can't help. Oh.
Do you not feel the forum is sometimes like so
Yeah.
mean? Like, you're not being asked for help. Don't cause that drama, babe.
I
Don't
feel
do that.
like, yes, all the information we've been given indicates that the boyfriend is not going to be the best partner, but you never know. Some people can really step up when they become parents.
Exactly
So
that.
I think that is a bit of an unfair assumption. Their relationship is unlikely to get better because of a baby. That isn't going to fix the problems they have, but
that doesn't mean that they're not gonna
independently,
be there
as
for
a
the child.
father, he might be good.
Yes.
We don't know. Might just be the relationship doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the bit about telling her up front you can't help, that's so antagonistic.
Could you imagine?
Like, OP's not here to start a fight. She's here just being a bit honest with sister-in-law. No, don't just be like, oh, by the way, you've not asked, but I won't help you.
Just think about that course of events, right? She's announced a pregnancy. You as the OP were the only one that showed some sort of positive response. She calls you for support because of your positive response. You're on his back and you expect her to say as well, by the way, not that you've asked, I'm not going to give you a dime towards your baby.
Yeah,
Like, in what world?
It's bizarre. This is what you say the first time somebody comes and asks you. You are firm with a, I'm sorry, I can't. And then you set the precedent going forward. You don't invite that before being asked.
Yeah.
That's just how you cause fights.
And even that you can't. Like, it's so different, isn't it? I think, like, sometimes objectively, maybe you shouldn't, but at the same time, if you need to, like, weigh up the needs of this tiny little squish,
Yeah.
who you also want to protect, maybe you will, maybe you'll want to,
Yeah.
who knows? But that's not the question being asked here, commenter. Stay in your lane.
Stop swerving.
Squirt. Isn't that the noise that a car makes? When you go out of your lane, you're like, squirt. No?
I thought you were saying squirt.
Squirt. I'm being a car. What sound would you make if you're swerving from your lane?
Ear.
Squirt.
Ear.
Oh, drama.
Oh, Shaaba, we're closing today's episode with a submission from a listener.
Ooh.
Ready?
Really hoping we can help you, babe.
Am I the drama for not wanting to raise my biological child?
Wow.
Okay.
OP says, 2 of my best friends, A, 25, and M, 26, both men, have been looking into having children, but both being cis men are unable to conceive without help.
Okay.
This is going down a different direction than I thought it would. While looking for a donor, I, a 24-year-old woman, volunteered as I look very similar to A and share a similar racial background to M.
Cute.
That is very selfless of you.
Yeah.
My partner, a 25-year-old woman, is very supportive, so that's not an issue. Wait, so OP here is offering to be an egg donor,
Yeah.
not a surrogate.
Unclear, but
Definitely an
at
egg
least
donor.
egg donor.
Okay.
Yes.
A and M were thrilled and everything was going great until we discussed my role in the child's life. A very healthy conversation to
Yes.
have.
Very important thing to discuss.
Yes, I do not want a part in raising this child.
Mm-hmm.
My partner would rather me not play a part in raising this child, and M doesn't want me to raise the child. Initially, A did, but has since realised that I'd be much better suited for the cool aunt role of the family instead of quote-unquote bonus parents in bunny.
Okay. Yes, that sounds like a much less complicated situation to not have a
Third
the donor
parent who
be
doesn't
a
really live
parent
there.
role.
Yeah, just because of a biological input, I would agree. Everything was fine until we shared the news with friends and family.
Oh.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
There's something else I wanted to say here, and it's the idea that a donor, the person who's biologically related to your child, could be a part of the baby's life.
Mm-hmm.
It's no secret that Jamie and I have been talking about family planning, something that we've shared a little bit online. And part of those discussions, because one of our biggest things is just doing whatever is like most beneficial for the little squish that we eventually have. It's something that we've consistently seen come up, is that having the people who biologically help make your child be in the little squish's life is a very beneficial thing for them. So I just felt the need to put that out there because I feel like this is very healthy and good.
The setup of like donor being aunt role
having
in
a
life
cool
is,
aunt, a present aunt
Yeah.
role, like that's actually scientifically proven to be really good for the child to have a healthy relationship with a person who may not be the two parents who knows who they are.
Yeah.
That's not at all to say that anonymous donors are a bad idea. Sometimes it's a preference, sometimes it's an accessibility thing as
Yes.
well. But regardless of your situation, anonymous donors are also incredible, and I'm really glad that that resource is out there for baby making, family making. Baby making sounds so like funny.
Not PG.
Yeah, family making. And of course, we need to remember that in the grand scheme of things, there are so many aspects that lead to a little squish's good well-being. So this is a small part of it, but yeah, just felt the need to put that out there, that I don't think they're making a bad decision if there is a known donor for them to be present.
Sure, yeah, and for
makes sense.
going down the known donor route, because there's multiple options you can go down. Known donor is one of them, and having the known donor be part of the child's life is part of that option.
I feel like having a known donor in that child's life, but they're not saying to that child at all that's what I'm saying. It's not about anonymous versus known donor. It's known donor that's present in their life as being a known donor,
And the child knows that
versus not.
Oh, yeah, for me, like, number one, wherever, like, our children come from, they will know that pathway, like, in age-appropriate ways as they grow older.
And science says it's beneficial for them
Yes.
to do so. So, sorry, that was a big digression. Let's continue. My parents, says OP, had some interesting opinions, but they're still trying to get used to the whole gay thing, so I did quite frankly take what they had to say into consideration.
Okay.
What did strike me as odd was the reaction of several of our friends, as well as A&M's families. Whoa.
Okay.
The general consensus is that it is immoral, says OP, of me to quote-unquote give away my child, and that if I'm allowing a human to come into the world, it's my job to take care of them. That is so weird to me, and what's particularly weird is that this is coming from A&M's parents. Like, A&M's families know that they're gay, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty obvious that if they're having a family...
They're not just two roommates, like...
well, no, and that they're not going to just do it each other. They need the egg to come from somewhere.
Yeah, unless
So
they
why
assume...
are they going to judge the person that's helping them become grandparents?
Unless they assume the pathway would always be adoption.
Also a very incredible option.
Yeah, no, of course.
I'm just confused from this, like, reaction.
I'm more confused by, like, friends, because how do those friends feel about anonymous donors then?
And I often feel that when you scratch the surface, this reasoning often comes down to discrimination.
Yeah.
I know that being gay is not a choice, but I feel like some people in these situations will look at it in that way. Because if you said to someone, well, what about me if I was born unable to have a child? What if I had a hysterectomy or I was born infertile in some way? Would you then consider it immoral, or whatever words you're using it, for somebody else to give away eggs in that situation?
If a cis-het couple were being helped, would they have the same opinion?
Exactly. And quite often they won't. They'll be like, oh, well, they can't help it. And then you're just like, well, nor can A&M, babe. It's also very weird to me that they don't seem to have an issue with A&M having the child, but it's more with OP, quote-unquote, giving away the child.
Yeah.
That's weird, right?
It is weird. It's bizarre. If they don't have this opinion about every single donor ever, anonymous and known, then they're just hypocrites. And you're right, it's probably rooted in discrimination over who A&M are as a couple.
OP says, there's another subset of people who think it's wrong of me to do this because it will confuse the kid.
It doesn't actually.
Science says it's better. We literally just discussed this.
As long as children are told, like, as early as possible for them to understand and explained in, like, child-friendly ways, it's super okay. That's what they grow up knowing as being normal, and that's just their lives, and they fully will understand it, and it's not confusing for them.
Yeah. Admittedly, says OP, I can almost see that argument. With respect, you're wrong. Science has said, and people have shown so many times with so many donor situations, that you can have incredibly healthy, well-adjusted children and family networks with donors who are known in their network.
Yeah, it's not a problem with the pathway to creating a child. If there's ever an issue, the issues are born out of when and how the child finds out.
Either the way that you've communicated it to them, or the way that other people react to that news, making it feel like bullying your child into thinking that it's wrong.
Or the child not finding out until they're much older.
Which
that
is, again,
can
an issue with
cause
the way that
issues.
you've communicated.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, I'm frustrated by the situation. I didn't care at first, as everyone directly involved were on the same page, and whilst that's still true, hearing almost everyone around me telling me that I'm a horrible and neglectful person is slowly getting to me. So, am I the drama for not wanting to raise my biological child?
No. Honestly, quickest badge I've ever given.
Oh, absolutely.
Not the drama whatsoever.
Do you know where my head was going? I thought the question at the end was going to be, so am I the drama for now not wanting?
Oh, to be the donor.
Yeah, and that would have been
Sad.
infinitely more complicated and sad. But yeah, no, you're right. For this, absolutely, you are not the drama for not wanting to raise your biological child. Also, for people saying that would be confusing to the child, how confusing would it be to grow up in a network with 3 parents where one of them isn't really a parent. I know that thruples exist. There's a lot of stigma around that too. But when somebody is not really the parent in the network, it's just because they have a biological stand-in. Like, does that mean that every anonymous sperm donor should be involved? Or that adoption should only happen where the biological parents, where they are available, should also be involved alongside the adoptive parents? Do you know how messy that would get if that was a requirement?
Definitely not the drama. I think, honestly, where my head goes is like, don't tell friends and family. I'm not judging the situation because everybody needs to be open in a way that they feel comfortable with, but it just gets so messy. Like, the main important person in this situation is whatever child is created, and I feel like the information about where they come from is theirs to have as early as possible, and then is theirs to share however, whenever, and with whoever they want to tell. So like, that's where my head goes. I'm not judging OP, I'm not judging A&M for telling, because it's quite a big thing to hold in if it's not something you want to hide from people.
I agree with
But
you.
at the same time, I feel like maybe just saying we're using a donor and leaving it at that.
I agree with you, especially because you say that point about not judging, because I do think that if some people want to say it to their family, then fine.
Yes.
And also if it's a family member being a donor, that's kind of hard to not include.
Oh, that's a different situation, yeah. But, and obviously OP's partner would be involved in the conversations. I'm not saying keep it a secret from partners of the donor or anything.
I also kind of feel that if I was in OP's situation, I do totally hear what you're saying. I can see how that can be easier sometimes. The flip side to that, which I also
Devil's
see.
advocate.
I'm not trying to.
No, it's important. It's important to look at both sides.
Like, what I'm thinking is, if I was OP and I didn't know what A&M's family thought before, like, this isn't something you can refund. This is a big deal. So if you then got into this huge entanglement where two families pestered you when this little squish was out or baking, you know, to then be like, no, you must be a third parent, that would be really tricky.
It is.
I'd much rather sort of like know earlier and be fully informed to understand the wider sort of network context that I would be adding myself into. But I do totally agree with you in the sense that, like, I wouldn't judge if A&M then decided they didn't want to tell people.
I just feel like because OP would be a donor in the sense of, like, they've not explained how they would tell the child. I'm assuming they would tell them, because personally I just think that is an absolute must do. But it's not like there's gonna be family dinners with A&M and A&M's parents and then OP's just going to be tacked on there because they're a donor. There's not going to be that kind of intimacy with the wider family network where it would only be OP being involved in that, where it would be a bit odd if the families didn't know why OP was there for whatever reason. I think A&M could have just said, I'm not saying they should have, but they could have just said to family and friends, they could even have said we're using a known donor because that's what we want to do. And then I'm sure they have a wider friend network that other people wouldn't have then judged an individual on. So especially OP's like friends, I feel, maybe didn't need to know. But again, no judgment on people's decisions on who they tell.
It's all very complex, isn't it? And
it
so
is
nuanced depending on your network and the way that you guys function. I also wonder if maybe like this weird opinion, at least from the families, are coming from A's family, because A seemed to have the idea that OP was going to be the bonus parent, quote unquote, before deciding that the call aunt rule was actually okay. I also wonder, I don't know if I'm making this too deep and political, if this is just coming from a place of like, wow, we need feminism in the world. Because they're not judging the men, they're judging the woman for, quote unquote, giving up the child, when she's doing such a strong and like selfless thing in giving a family of two guys an egg.
That is such a good point. If this was the opposite way round and it was OP and her partner asking A&M, one of them, to be a donor, sperm donor, would the family and friends be saying the same thing?
It's a hugely nuanced situation. But honestly, babe, I really don't think that you're the drama. I'm sorry that you're being put into this. And honestly, I would not judge you if you felt that you had to do things differently, if you were being asked to be way more involved than you didn't want to. If you didn't want those responsibilities, it's your body. It is up to you to decide what boundaries are attached to the bits that you are willingly choosing to help someone else out and give away. You know? And I really hope that the situation gets better and does so with like not a lot of fallout.
Yes. But honestly, so not the drama.
So not the drama.
One thing I wanted to bring up was the concept of thruples, though, with like this kind of quote-unquote bonus parent that's mentioned in
I have to say, I don't know enough
thing.
about thruples.
I'd say, for me, where the differentiation is, OP is not in a relationship with A&M.
That's what I'm
There
saying,
is
they're
that
not
separation.
living there, they're not
I
raising
think,
the child.
obviously, there are scenarios when kids can very comfortably have more than two parents, so either like step-parent involvement, thruples, situations like that.
Blended families,
But
right?
yeah, but this is not that type of scenario. The judgment coming from friends and family, it's bizarre because OP is not in the relationship with A&M. A&M want to make a baby together. They need some outside help, and that is what OP is like willing to provide.
Yeah.
Not being a third parent.
It's an
but
ingredient.
Just giving away a little pocket of genes to help.
Genes. It's genes. Literally that. I think that might also be like where a huge amount of differing opinion comes with the whole baby making procedure in so many different ways. It's how you view genetics. And for me, I don't view genetics as being very important at all. I will love my child unconditionally, regardless of who they are actually biologically related to.
Yeah, because who's going to be raising that child? Like, this is A&M's child. They are going to be raising that child. It's not just because you are genetically related, you did not go into that with any responsibility to be a parent. It's a very different thing.
Yeah.
So A&M are the parents, you are not.
Would it be nice to be genetic related? Absolutely. I'm not judging people who, like do put any emphasis on that at all. What I'm saying is like of the ingredients that go into making a baby, it is the least interesting thing.
Yes. I think as like just a little bit of advice, I don't know if this is helpful, but is just to have that open dialogue with the people who are having this pushback and be like, what's your opinion on if this was a heterosexual couple? What's your opinion on anonymous donors? What's your opinion on known sperm donors compared to known egg donors?
Or adoptive families.
And adoptive families.
Yeah.
Like, just really question their viewpoints and challenge them and be like, well, why do you have this opinion about what my involvement should be?
You're
about
so right. You're
the
so
genetics
right.
that I'm choosing to give away as just genetics, but not in a parental capacity.
And also, it might be that these people are not coming from it. Like, they might, on the offset, be like, oh, this is jarring. This is how I think. I don't think it's right. But then when you do actually question things and apply them to different scenarios, you realise that actually this isn't where I'm coming from. Quite often, it's coming from a place of this is what I know. This is what I've been taught. And anything different to that is something that feels kind of scary for me to accept.
Yeah.
But then when you realise that, then, yeah, opening your mind is a wonderful thing.
And are all these people with these opinions cis and straight? Because I would say that oftentimes a lot of cis-het couples don't need to think about this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And to them, it is just, we're going to have a baby that's going to be genetically related to both of us. That's what makes us the parents, the end. And they don't understand the wider context of parenting away from genetics because it's always, the genetics are
what they
always
know.
there. It's just what they know.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not talking about cis-het couples who have fertility issues, but
People who have the
Yeah.
privilege of not having to think about baby
Yeah.
making in any greater way than just naturally conceiving.
I'd be curious if the people who've pushed back to OP
You're
are
so
in
right.
that boat.
And again, taking it and applying the principle to different scenarios, and this is an entire video in its own thing, so and I'm not bringing it up just because you're here. This idea of like, what is a woman is one of the biggest things like that sort of sticks into my mind as a conversation that happened way before Matt Walsh on the internet was a thing. I was doing these interviews as part of my HI inclusion masters, and somebody said to me that in the discovery of their identity, they were asked what a woman is, and they were saying, well, a woman is someone who has ovaries, and they were like, okay, cool, well, I've had a hysterectomy due to cancer. Does that mean I'm not a woman anymore? And it totally changed her mindset to be like, oh, you're right. I am not my biological past. Like, sometimes, like, if somebody had said that to me, like, a woman has ovaries, right? If I've never had to think about privilege or trans issues before, I'd be like, well, yeah, of course. But it's when you then know and are confronted by these situations that you can then expand your mindset and be
Yeah.
like, oh, sure, this is different, but different doesn't mean bad.
Yeah,
It just means alternative.
I hear what you're saying. And then with the scratching thing, there could also be homophobia in there as well. Just genuinely, some people will think that A&M should not be having a child, and so they are, instead of directing it in the homophobic direction because they probably know that that's wrong, they are directing it towards
Oh, how dare you give them
Yeah.
the ingredients to make a baby.
to make
Sorry.
a cake.
I was thinking eggs. I don't know what I was thinking.
Flour, sugar.
A little bit of love.
Oh,
Mix it all
no.
together. One final thing that I wanted to add. I really loved your advice. I would just add one more thing, which is maybe you don't need to be the one that confronts or speaks to, like, challenges everybody.
That's a really good point.
Really feel like this is down to A&M to do it. I think if you're going to be
Yeah.
challenging anyone, absolutely involve A&M or like approach A&M about this first.
Yes.
I feel like you really need to put your boundaries straight there and remember that in this situation, this is their journey and you're being asked to be involved, but you can absolutely do it on your terms. And if it's their families that are being questionable about this, they can have those difficult conversations. And you can choose to be there as well, but they should definitely be there,
Yeah.
is my thoughts.
No, that's really good advice. This is their conversation.
It's their thing.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's elements that you want to tackle with, like, if it's your friends that are saying things.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
Of course, yeah, because there are friends too in there.
don't feel like you need to burden yourself with the brunt of this. This should be A&M's thing that they are educating and speaking to their friends and family about, because they have chosen to go down a known donor route and then also disclose their known donor's identity. I'm sure with OP's consent, but they have disclosed
I hope
OP's
with OP's
identity.
consent.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
So yes, that's really good advice.
Wow, heavy.
Yes, good luck, OP. Wishing you all
Absolutely.
the best.
Wow, this has been a spicy episode.
This has been, yes. If you are listening to this on any streaming platform for podcasts, feel free to go give us a little rate.
You can even do so on every episode and it super helps us out. And if you're listening to this and watching this on YouTube,
Then don't forget to like and subscribe and go leave a little comment downstairs if you want to.
join the conversation. And if you, like OP here, would like to submit your own Am I the Drama post to us, you can do so via our website. All the details are downstairs,
You can also give us a follow at 1-800-DRAMA-POD over on Instagram.
which I would highly recommend because very soon you too will be able to help some extra OPs out. So watch this space.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much for joining, Peaches. Be kind
Much love.
and have a great day.
Bye.